Welcome to the Crazy Town Podcast. I'm Jonas.
And I'm TNT. Nah, and I might the explosive one. Let's crack into another one.
I love crack.
I've heard this about you.
You've heard that I like crack?
Yeah, pretty much.
I just talk about crack because you talk about it so much.
I've never bring up crack. You bring up crack.
Quite often.
No, I have reverence for the crack epidemic of the 1990s and 80s.
Yeah,
You seem to think that it's funny when people overdose on drugs. I
do
mean,
not
I don't know.
I don't think it's funny when people have drug problems. I do not use other people's misfortune into my
No, it's fine.
game. So, anyways.
Jonas never change. I love you.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I'll never change. So, there was a lady in Utah. We'll call it Utah, Florida. She decided that when her husband died.
Oh, I know the story.
All I had to say was that her husband died.
I know the story. Yeah,
That she would write a children's book about grief.
Yeah.
About her husband dying after drinking a Moscow Mule.
Yeah.
Poor guy. And
what is a Moscow Mule, Jonas? Elaborate, because I don't know.
It is. It's actually, funny fact. You can make it two different ways. I think it's a Moscow Mule. Sure. One of them uses vodka. One of them uses whiskey. I think, and you drink them in a copper mug.
Really?
Yeah.
Why the copper mug?
Yeah, look that up because it's
okay. It says a Moscow Mule is a cocktail made with vodka, ginger beer, and lime juice, garnished with a slice of or wedge of lime and a sprig of mint. The drink is a type of a buck and is sometimes called a vodka buck. I don't know why it's
because like when I went to the piano bar one time and I was with my ex-girlfriend and she wanted to drink like a pitcher of Moscow Mule and they asked if we wanted it with vodka or with something else. I thought it was whiskey, but yeah, it's ginger beer and like vodka. And
it says the Moscow Mule is popularly served in a copper mug, which takes on the cold temperature of the liquid. Some public health advisories recommend copper mugs be plated with nickel or stainless steel. Okay, I don't know. Is it like just tradition?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. They were all right. I got drunk off them for sure. Yeah.
I mean,
man, we got back and you would have heard all the things that happened that night. Just gonna say, I don't know.
Were you having like wild, passionate lovemaking sessions or something?
We took that copper mug, bro, and then we. No.
I'd hate to hear how you incorporated that into sex. I'm going to tell you right now.
She hit me in the face with it.
This girl brought out the lube in a copper mug, and I was like...
Next thing I knew, it was Sunday morning.
Why did that make you laugh?
I don't know why that made you laugh so hard.
It was funny as shit. I don't know. That was a good one.
So anyways, this lady makes a grief book, and come to find out, she fentanyl this Moscow Mule and killed him. And I actually read today that she took out a $2 million life insurance policy on him too. So, okay, I feel like this is a tale that is old as time. You want your husband dead or want your wife dead, and then all of a sudden you think it's a good idea to take out a secret life insurance policy on them that no one knows about.
Yep.
And then they end up dead. And you think no one's going to question that you have this ridiculous life insurance policy that you took out a couple months ago. Now all of a sudden they die from weird causes, and they're not going to look at you to think that you had anything to do with that. Like
exactly.
I'm like,
and why would you use fentanyl of all things? That's like the most easily traceable thing that you can kill a person off of.
Yeah, didn't she see Oz? You just feed them glass.
Oh, Jonas. I'm pretty sure they can figure that out too. I'm pretty sure forensics can. Well, he's got a stomach full of glass and his esophagus is all
what it was in Oz, they crushed glass and put it in the guy's food every day for a really long time, and then eventually it scarred up his insides and he bled to death, internal bleeding. I don't know if that's even legitimately a thing.
I don't think that works.
I know. I don't think it does either, but I was like, it sounded like it might.
That's crazy. That's a good way. I would say ricin is a good way,
But wouldn't they find ricin in you too?
I think it's undetectable, but I could be wrong about it. I've never.
Yeah, I'm not a murderer, so I don't know.
Also, I think insulin.
You can kill. Because you overregulate their sugar,
and then it's just absorbed, and then it's like, oh, how'd they go? I don't know if I should be giving this information out.
It's a tip, dude. It's a solid tip.
It's a solid tip.
Solid tip from TNT Dynamite.
Fun fact: you can kill your loved one with.
Yeah, dude. No, it's I just don't. I guess okay.
So she wrote a book about it, though.
She wrote a book about grief for her kids.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
she wrote a kids book about how to deal with your dad dying when your mom murders him.
Whoa. She just needed inspiration to write.
Yeah. So like, okay.
Portrait artist, I get it.
Like, I can't put myself in the shoes of someone who is such a twisted soul that they will murder their loved one. But like here's I guess that goes along with that tale as old as time that I've never understood. Mm-hmm. So this goes either way. It won't be male or female specific. Spouse A decides to cheat on spouse B.
Okay.
They find a partner. We'll call them Mistress or Mr. A.
All right, I'm following you.
So they're like, I started cheating on my wife with you or cheating on my husband. You know what? I really love you. Let's kill my spouse instead of just divorcing them because it's easier than going through a divorce.
That's fair. I've also seen Let's Kill My Mother also, or my father or something so I can be with you. I've seen that one too.
Yeah, and
but fair enough. You got to kill somebody.
Like, so you think to yourself, it's easier to try to murder them than just be like, I don't want to be with you anymore and walk away. Like you have a choice in every. But then you think you can get away with it. Like you're like, I know what we'll do. Yeah. We'll poison them with fentanyl. Oh, but let's first take out a $2 million life insurance policy on them. God. How? I can't fathom.
It depends on how long she waited after taking the life insurance. Like she took it out like 3 years ago, and then he ends up dead. That's okay.
But I can't fathom how you ever think that's a good idea.
What, killing somebody?
Yes.
No, it's not a good idea.
And they're just like, yeah, that'll work. And then I'll write a children's book about grief.
That's kind of twisted.
Really? You did it for your kids after you just murdered their dad.
It's very funny. I just saw
weird.
I just saw a video on a viral video. It was like somebody giving wedding vows, not wedding vows, but it was like the best man or the maid of honor.
Oh, like a speech or whatever.
Yeah. They're like, okay, I want you two to look into each other's eyes, and I want you to realize that statistically, this is the person that is most likely to kill you. That's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true, and it's so sad. But it's crazy is that the person that you could dedicate your life to, you could know that person for years and marry them.
And then you want to murder them?
Live your lives, make your lives mesh, coercion, the two become one. You have children, multiple children with this person. So much love.
And then you just like...
And then
you decide that like they gotta go.
They gotta go.
And you can't just be a man or woman and go, I want you to move out. I'm gonna move out.
Yeah.
We should separate.
Hot take, Jonas. I'm that spouse that would end up getting killed.
I feel like I would be too. Because
you definitely.
Because here's
you definitely.
Because here's the thing. I feel like I would be the spouse that would die because one, they'd be like,
yeah,
he hasn't done anything to me, but I really just don't want him around anymore. And I can't justify kicking him out because he's a decent person. He hasn't done anything wrong to me. I just really don't want him around. So I'll just kill him instead. Like I feel like that's what would happen. Like I've never scarred a loved one very much.
I try not to. But I do. I think that I'm most likely to be killed by my wife.
Was that in your yearbook?
I think if I was to win an award, like most likely to succeed, most likely to be killed by his wife. That's why I'm not gonna get married. I'm gonna stay single.
You've never been married because you're afraid that she's gonna kill you. That's the.
I think if I'm gonna go, that's how I'm gonna go.
I mean, it's not a bad way to go, I guess.
Bro, like honestly, marriage must do something to people, man. I've never been there, Jonas.
Oh, I have. It's done something. It does something to you.
All right, so you never killed.
I've never been the same since.
You never killed your wife,
obviously. She's still.
Did it ever cross your mind?
No, but I will tell. I shouldn't say this on the podcast.
It doesn't matter.
No, like
let it out. Say it.
Like being married and being in a marriage that you're not happy with,
Yeah.
you I'm trying to say this in the most diplomatic way that I'm not going to come across as an asshole.
You know.
You can be married and be very unhappy.
Yes.
And like
You're not saying anything that
right. And
innovative.
like sometimes
Uh-huh.
you're like, man, being single is really shitty. But then you get married and you're like, being married can be worse than being single. And you're like, that's a mind fuck. And then like, and then you like, and then you're never the same again after that.
High highs, but lower lows. Single, moderate highs, low lows. Married, high highs, lower lows.
The lowest lowest
way
of the
lower
lows,
lows.
dude. That's what I mean. It's like you're just like, wow.
Yeah.
And then you're never the same again.
Yeah.
You're never the same no matter what. Either if you have a happy marriage or a bad marriage,
Facts.
you're never the same again ever.
Because as a single man, I've never been cheated on. As a single, at least while I'm single, I can't get cheated on. I've never been through divorce, and I hear that is the worst thing you can possibly.
I will
do.
say mine was not very bad.
Yeah. Well,
So I mean, I was very lucky. It was very quick and clean, and we didn't have a lot to say. But But I've heard the stories from many a men who are like,
exactly
went on for 7 years, and
and when it leads up to divorce and going through it and actually like doing it, like besides like the physical need, the mental is what I'm
mental
talking
and
about.
emotional
Yeah.
is awful, man.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's all the time we have for the day's episode. Go to the Crazy Town, comment, subscribe for Jonas.
Don't get married, TNT.
We out. Never again.